Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the February 14, 2026 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live every Saturday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms. Catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and I'm just messing us all up. To support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy. Nice as the word Saint spelled backwards. And today my co-hosts are, we got Student X, star of Mutant Politics and contributor to Objective Deconstruction. We have Mr. Floyd X, star of Street Focus on Sundays at 6 p.m. Is that correct? 6:30 or 6?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
And we got infamous El Pooh, star of Spin That Back on Saturdays at 10:30, correct? Yes. And we're not I don't think we're having to spin that back today. Is that correct, Mr. Infamous? You're muted, sir. There you go. It's hating you.
There you go. No spin that back today. Sorry about that, y'all.
We'll be back. Yeah. And we're missing a few people today. Mr. Walk, maybe he'll come on in, star of Sex Talk and Walk over Thursday at 9 p.m. and also co-star Street Focus on Sundays at 6. And no Afro Agnostics today, star of those Afro Agnostic videos on social media and co-star of Objective Deconstruction. So, we don't know First Lady J, no AB, but you know what? We're going to hold it down today. Happy Valentine's Day. This is the Happy Valentine's Day version of the Focus Up, or I should say episode of the Focus Up Show. So what's going on with you, Mr. Floyd X?
Chilling. Just trying to get my day started. Got off on the late start, but I'm here to make it happen.
That's what's up. Student X, sir, what's going on with you?
Glad to be alive, as they say. Been a real busy week. So, I've been really rapidly catching up on the going-ons. And so, I'm ready to talk about it.
That's what's up. Infamous El Pooh, what it do?
Yeah, and like I always say, blessed and happy to be here once again. And, don't focus too much on Valentine's Day. It's a real holiday coming up Monday, which is President's Day.
Ouch. Well, yes, I actually wasn't going to be on the show, so I apologize. It's a little bit of rough because of Valentine's Day. I told my wife, I was like, I'm giving you the whole day. She's like, what are we going to do before noon? I said, stay less. So here I am, on the Focus Up Show.
So wait a minute. You celebrate Valentine's Day. I thought you was playing.
No. I put it this way. If it's a day that gives me peace from my wife, yeah, I celebrate. To that extent. But go ahead, speak on it. Sounds like you don't. What's going on with you, sir? What's your take on this pagan holiday?
No, Lupercalia, what is really called, a festivity involving animal sacrifices, ritual purification, pairing men and women's, lotteries and whatnot. This was like I said, I don't. My whole thing is I love everybody, but I don't get into their business and get to celebrating, too hard in what they do, in their situations, I focus on something different. I feel like, it just pays homage to my ancestors, who, weren't, treated very nicely, I always think back, like, what if they were looking back at me right now, down on me, however you believe, but they was looking at me and, knowing how that they were dealt with, would they be pleased with me celebrating, their rituals, of their enemies, what I'm saying? So for me, I just, cut it all off, what I'm saying? And my wife and everyone, she had to know this coming in. This is what it is. If this is the problem, hey, what I'm saying? I sprung it up on her way before we got married, what I'm saying? So, but if you discover later in the game, then I can understand it can kind of create, a challenge. So it is what it is.
Yeah, so we don't do any of that ritual stuff or any of that stuff. Basically, you know, we're gonna go out to eat.
Animals, brothers.
We're gonna go out to eat. I got her some chocolate, so yeah. But you know, what's your take on what's your deal with the Valentine's Day, Mr. Floyd X? Shout out, what's up, big cuz?
Because
Valentine's Day, I don't really celebrate it, but I call it Love Day with me and my wife. Call it Love Day. We'll go out to go dinner or something like that, but I try to avoid the saying Valentine's Day and all that. Happy Valentine. I don't do that part, but it used to be a point when I was in the nation, I didn't do it at all. But since, you know, that's not where I'm at no more, I'm more laxed on it. But, you know, I agree with everything Student X said about it. It's 100, and, you know, I still hold fast to most of the teachings.
Yeah.
For the record, I did it before Nation and everything. You know, I mean, this was just me coming out. You know, I'm studying, I'm reading history. You know what I mean? You know, and at the same time, I decided not to be a pilot. You know, at the Air Force Academy and then go down that study. You know, in that program. Then I also was like, man, I'm not celebrating none of these holidays. I took all my jewelry off, you know what I mean, on my ears and my neck and everything, you know what I mean. I just, you know, I switched up. You know, that was just me though.
Yeah, before
I'm not talking down on anybody. That's just my experience. You know how you know I had this time where I was like, you know, really, you know, like, oh man, you can't tell me what to do. So I was destructive, bro. I was doing donuts in the freeway, man. My 71 Monte Carlo, you know, letting stuff off. You know what I mean. And when I started to become aware, you know what I mean, it just hit me differently. You know what I mean. And then again, before I even knew nothing about the nation, you know what I mean. And so then, you know, like I said, any woman that was with me, you know, I had to let them know, hey, look, you know, this is me. I understand the problem. You know, I'll make up for it in other ways. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know,
infamous El Poo. You bah humbug too?
Oh yeah.
Man, that's the Grinch. You and me, man. That's El Poo, the Grinch.
This is a day for people that sell chocolates, flowers, and run restaurants to make money. Period. And it's also another day that takes away from the focus on Black History Month. So that's all I got to say.
Teach, brother.
Give him a horn for that one.
Yeah, teach, brother. I didn't even think of that, brother. That's I'm gonna have to use that moving forward. As if I
Black love, celebrate Black love. But anyway, so that having been said, you know, this is the first Focus Up show after the Super Bowl. And speaking of, you know, things that Mr. Student X predicted or foresaw. Yeah, so you know, with respect to that conspiracy theory, that didn't quite pan out. You know, what did pan out was a thumping by the Seahawks, like I pretty much expected, just because of the level of talent and competition, and that's how it played out. So, you know, I thought it was a rather uneventful game, but I mean, from appreciating defense, man, Seahawks, they did a job there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, salute to both of the teams. Salute to Mike Vrabel, you know, getting that young team there in the first place. So, you know, that's what's up. Go ahead.
Here's what I know. Here's what I know is I did fantasy football that day, and you could do fantasy football with just one game, and you're going, you know, you get to pick the right, you know, slate how you want to do it. But even with my tape, you know, I turned $20 to $60, you know what I'm saying? So I was happy, you know what I'm saying?
How much did you lose on the actual bet of the game?
I don't bet like that.
Oh, cool. Like I'm about to say, I was wondering if you're one of those gamblers only talk about your win.
No. I just do the fantasy, you know, and that's just to keep it interesting, you know what I mean? Because otherwise, I wouldn't give a damn, honestly.
Fantasy football, fantasy sports. I mean, they drive interest. You know, you could be like rooting for your team, whatever. But I mean, you're not caring about this one guy. If this one guy gets this touchdown, this one team defensively holds. It brings so much entertainment and spotlight to the sport. I mean, you know, I got to salute. You know, that I don't get involved in that, but I mean, I do appreciate the fact that it draws attention.
Hold up, bro. FanDuel, DraftKings, if you all want to sponsor the show, you know what I mean? You know, it's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. I will do lineup construction from time to time. You know what I'm saying? You know, reach out to us.
Yeah, I think most people agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, I seen it because Valentine's Day is a commercialized cake and holiday. Loved ones should feel the love year round. That's what you should feel the love year round. But you know what? Like I said, if it keeps the pace and all we doing is going out and eating dinner, getting you some candy, that's a minor sacrifice on my part. But it's a sacrifice. So, anyways, but go ahead, Alex.
Yeah.
I think most people agree that this was probably the most boring Super Bowl ever. To not score no points till like the third quarter. What's the problem here? Felt like I was watching somebody slowly die. Slowly. That's what I was watching, a slow death. And then they came back to life in the end and started making some points and making some moves. They should have did it in the first. Most boring Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, if you don't appreciate it, go ahead, infamous Elpo. What was you about to say?
I agree. And let me also say this too. Those Super Bowl commercials was corny. Man.
Amen. The Super Bowl commercials were way more disappointing than the game to me. You know what I'm saying? I saw one commercial that I thought was really dope, and that was that Jurassic Park commercial. I thought that was clever as hell. It was a big disappointment. No Marvel commercials, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I appreciate defense, so man, man, that game still had me going. So you know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying.
The people in my household say the best commercial was the one about the urine. The one I got the least. I did not understand that commercial. It was a bunch of urine going down the drain and all this stuff. And I think it was a medicine commercial or something. Did y'all see that one?
Mm-mm.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. But but the Jurassic Park, you seen the Jurassic Park video, correct? Is that yeah? So they basically was like it was the Jurassic Park scene with Samuel Jackson and the dude that looks I guess he is Newman from Seinfeld.
They made young again, right? They look young or something.
Yeah, because they went back and they basically went right back into the movie. And right before the power went off and all the dinosaurs went wild, Xfinity was like, hey, you're having a power situation. If you use our backup, everything would go fine. And like literally, everything turned out perfectly. All the people that were against it were like, oh, I changed our mind. I do endorse this park. And, everything just turned out completely differently just because, they had this power battery backup. So I thought that was a fantastic commercial. There was a commercial with like Alvaro Refans, basically a homeboy. What's his name from
Alfonso Rivera.
Alfonso Rivera. Yeah, exactly. So that was something, a little something. But I just thought that the commercials were very blah. I felt like it was such a disappointment because the commercials were kind of like a highlight. Like I would walk away from the football because I can rewind that, but I wouldn't walk away from the commercial. That's how it used to be, but it was very disappointing.
But what about the halftime show? What's the take on?
Let's talk about Bad Bunny. You know what? Before we do that, let me just play. We don't have Afro Agnostics in the house, but he made a nice little video for us.
You can't just jump to that. You got to get set up right.
Well,
he jumps to the politics of it. So,
it was the politics. If you want to say that, how did I think about it? I didn't understand a single thing that they said. Well, I did understand some of it, but the bottom line is, I thought it was dope. I thought it was a good performance. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, dancing and singing is universal. There's acapella, there's instrumentals. You know what I'm saying? Chariots of Fire. There actually are lyrics to Chariots of Fire, but most people don't know. But the bottom line is that my point is that you can vibe to a song just for the sake of song, not knowing what the heck was going on about. And at the end of the day, I thought it was dope. So we can talk about that, and then we can come back to the politics of it.
Yeah. So as far as the performance and singing, I thought it was good. I told my wife and Chin, I say, if he kisses somebody on this show, I'm shutting it out. And it's done. It's a whack performance to me. But fortunately, he didn't do like he did at the Grammys that one year where he kissed one of his backup dancers. So he went on and performed. He put on the shoulder pads to look more masculine, which I thought was a positive. He didn't have a dress on this. So all the things that he normally do, he didn't do. He just represented masculinity and fight the power structure. I thought it was great. So for me, it was a great performance. Thank you, Bad Bunny, for putting on a good show.
El Pooh, what'd you think about it?
I really didn't watch it, to be honest with you. But I just think it was an American show because he's Puerto Rican. Let's make that clear. Puerto Rico is part of America, like their stepchild, but still it is part of America. And I'm glad that he pissed off a lot of these conservatives because he just like to be pissed off. So he did his job.
Do the next.
Yeah, well, let me just briefly back up, to the halftime or the Super Bowl in general is, man, if you're doing the fantasy sports, man, you're not bored, man. I had the Seattle defense, we knew it was going to be, what I'm saying? So, so I'm rooting for, I had the field goal kicker, what I'm saying? So, it was all to the good, but to this right here, what Brother Floyd said, there wasn't a kissing, and I didn't see the whole thing live. I was moving around. I wasn't even fully watching the football game. I was moving around, but when I did peek in, I peeked in at the time where I didn't see any kissing, but then what I did see, I was like, okay, well, hell, this probably is more risque than I normally watch, but they had two dudes grinding on one another. You know what I mean? So I was going to ask Brother Floyd, he wasn't offended by that, and that wasn't enough to turn the channel, you know what I mean? Or he needed to see lip block, you know what I mean, in order for that to happen. Or did he miss that, you know what I mean? Because I just walked in just on a humbug, and I was like, okay, they got some dancers and whatnot and everything, and then it was showing that two dudes by a car, you know what I mean, with one another, they go walk, you know what I mean? So yeah, I was just curious about the thought on that, but in general, I mean, it seemed like it was entertaining for the people. I'm more interested in, the TPUSA, the counter halftime show versus, the two, and kind of see how they went head to head. I'm curious about that.
It was a great performance by Bad Bunny, the greatest halftime show ever, according to stupid motherfuckers. But, it was a good show. I liked it. I didn't understand nothing he was saying, even though my parents is from Central America, but we didn't learn. They didn't teach us Spanish. That's just what it is. But like I tell my cousins, I don't have to know what they're saying. All I gotta do is feel it. I felt it. It was a good performance. So that's all I gotta say. I don't know where y'all came in. I'm in an undisclosed location with another Marilyn Monroe poster. Yeah.
And real quick though, if I can, what I did find interesting on this subject was what Candace Owens' perspective, man. She gave a really good critique. She said she hated both options. She called it a left versus right grift, but she said that on Bad Bunny, her only concern was the lack of English. Hurt the connection, but with successful production, gave a personal nod to the Mexican village. And then she called TPS USA scamming, with fake news and audience, and lost the narrative and diluting themselves in their performance and what they did, so very critical of her conservative right, brethren, if you will, and community. So I thought that was interesting.
Hey, like some people have said, that didn't stop people from rocking La Bamba, and people stop from rocking from La Macarena and stuff like that. I'm saying? If your ass was sitting there talking about Mama say, Mama Makusa, none of that stuff is messing with your vibe. At the end of the day, it's a vibe thing. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe that one song was done in English, the female that was singing. But,
And the wedding was a real wedding. That wedding scene was real. It was
yeah. The preacher was or the priest, wherever it was, he was from Sacramento too, on a side note. And then of course a lot of people, I don't know if anyone brought it up, but he did bring in a Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin, to be part of the show, so I thought that people like that. And he ended with God Bless America, Bad Bunny did, so huge viewership.
Hey, I had to tell my chick, she didn't know who Ricky Martin is. I'm like, Ricky Martin is the same age as me. Like, what I'm saying? Remember Menudo? I'm like, he was in that group Menudo, and then he had Living La Vida Loca. I'm like a little girl, like from Ricky Martin.
I did not know that Ricky Martin was part of Menudo. I love Menudo growing up. I used to love Menudo, man. Yeah.
Menudo on ABC. Yeah, exactly. So, hey, man, I'm telling you, there's that one cartoon. I remember when I used to watch on PBS, there was like Electric Company, there was a Sesame Street, and there was this one show where it's like, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da, and I'm just saying, I don't know what the hell they were saying, but, you was still rocking to it after a fashion. So, it's what it is. But let's here goes Afro Agnostic's not here for the show, but he sent us his take on the Bad Bunny performance. Let's get right on into it.
Now, if you don't understand U.S. imperialism, everything else you think you understand, especially this Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance, will only confuse you. See, U.S. imperialism likes to hide beneath the cloak of patriotism. Never forget, the Philippines celebrate July 4th as Independence Day, not July 4th, 1776, July 4th, 1946. Who did they win independence from? The United States. Who's the president of Puerto Rico? The United States. Guam, the United States. Who's the president of the Virgin Islands? The United States. The American Samoa, the United States. The Northern Mariana Islands, the United States. But are these states of the United States or territories with no congressional representation that can't vote for president or vice president? How is that any different from a colony? Why do territories where whites outnumber the indigenous population become states, while territories where whites don't outnumber the indigenous population, places like Puerto Rico and Guam, do not? That's the tension that's running through de vite las más fotos de cuando te tuve de evitaré más besos y brazos y besos, especially lo que le pasó Hawaii. What happened to Hawaii? What happened to Hawaii is just an advanced stage of what's happening right now to Venezuela, to Cuba, to Haiti. I mean, Bad Bunny has aligned himself with the forces of resistance to U.S. imperialism. He has aligned himself with PIP, with the Movimiento Independentista Puertorriqueño, the movement for independence for independent Puerto Rico. His music is political messaging that raises these contradictions and these questions to the entirety of the American people, not just the people in the United States, but in the entirety of the Americas, in the 33 countries that make up Latin America and the Caribbean. The fact that he performed totally in Spanish was anti-colonial. The fact that he used a light blue flag instead of the dark blue shows the depth of his commitment to Puerto Rican independence. Bad Bunny is a reggaeton artist, and reggaeton music is rooted in reggae, which is black protest movement, and Bad Bunny has stayed true to the roots of that. Bad Bunny didn't take Puerto Rico to the Super Bowl. He took the Super Bowl to Puerto Rico. That was music of protest to U.S. imperialism in general and the MAGA administration specifically. Que lo que mi gente benito a movimiento independentista puertorriqueño, and down with U.S. imperialism. Out.
That's what's up. All right.
What the fuck was that?
Hey, that's his technical way. That's how he get his voice without being interrupted. Send the video.
That's how you do it.
That's just like him being here too.
That's how like smoking too much weed. You know what? Back in the Batista, they took over for the Gaza Strip, bro. That's why Iran is born in America.
Well, he made some good points on that. I'm glad he
explain it. Translate for me. I didn't get none of that shit. Translate for me.
He pointed out that the flag was not the Puerto Rican flag. It was a flag of resistance because it had the light blue and not the dark blue. So he pointed out some real historical facts or good points that people could take home.
Bad Bunny was protesting America.
Basically, what he's saying is that Puerto Ricans are multifaceted. There's Taino, African, Spanish, U.S. influence, but they have a strong nationalism despite the 1917 citizenship. They have various sayings that they say out there. Boricua de Puerto Sepa, pride in mixed heritage, language, food, and music. But in general, like the elders in particular, and what they're passing on to their youth is resist the American label, Puerto Rican first.
Okay, I get it.
Straight up, they see.
He could have summed it up. An island full of mutts. Next tag, let's go.
That's some rude shit.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's some rude shit.
Go ahead.
One of their main challenges, though, that the Puerto Rican people cite, though, is that is keeping their youth, affirmed in their ethnic pride and resisting the whitening, racism, with the American tag, and and having that flexibility to come to the States and things of that nature, and adopt values that are not consistent with what was being taught there in Puerto Rico. Lots of challenges there, but yeah, again, Bad Bunny, he repped his the people, and I would say all of La Gente.
That's what's up. Salute. You got something to say in closing, El Pooh, before we move on?
No, I think that was a good video to be sending in. But the only thing is, he left out the patriarchal side of it, like so.
He's trying to limit it.
The man is bad.
The manosphere. All right. So that having been said, let's talk about J. Cole and Cam. One of the things, you want to talk about what J. Cole's doing first, or you want to talk about basically, your work?
Let's touch on the album first. He just released a new album. It's called The Fall Off. It's a great album. It's a double CD. Great album. I love it. I listened to it like 5 times from beginning to end just to make sure. And the question we posed was, is J. Cole still one of the ones or one of the big threes, however you want to throw. The big three, obviously is normally him, Drake, and Kendrick. Now, after he backed out of the fight with Kendrick and things, everybody looked at him, Fat Joe and everybody, I can't look at him the same. He's not one of them ones no more. That's what people were saying. So the question was, is he still one of them ones? Let's start with that one. Do y'all still look at him as one of the top 3 rappers of today's time? Not ever, but of today's time.
Walk, go ahead. First bite.
I definitely do. I do. J. Cole got lyrics. I was listening to old stuff. He paints the picture. Like even the song he did with Janet Jackson. I just recently seen that because I heard an interview with Janet Jackson and she was talking about J. Cole, how when he was a kid, him and his mom, they went to my cancer and I canceled it because I was sick. He told me that story and I had to put him on the song. And I was like, he painted a picture. He paints pictures and he uses all kind of metaphors. He's dope. He's tight. Of course he's still there. But he ain't fucking with Kendrick ever in life. And he need to keep his mouth shut about that. But let's move on to the next. But yeah, he is still one-on-one. I got a lot to say on the other part when we get on him. Go ahead, yeah.
El Pooh, what you think about that?
I ain't really been into J. Cole too much, but I know he's actually, loved and respected and everything. I listened to some of his music. He's all right with me. You know what I'm saying? But he got this new album called The Fall Off. I mean, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. I gotta listen to it to really make a judgment of it. But I haven't really been hearing much about J. Cole lately since Kendrick just blew out the atmosphere in the last couple of years. But one thing I like about him is he's really humble. You know what I'm saying? He does his own production and everything. Man's talented, and I just gotta give him his props right there. But is he still one of the ones? I think he is because there ain't really too many of them, too many other people that can actually.
Right. It's a bunch of none of them nuns right there.
Student X, are you familiar with J. Cole? You got something to say about this one?
Yeah, man, North Carolina, man. I used to go real hard in North Carolina, and so, but yeah, elite storyteller, rhyme schemes, as they say, is strong, clean delivery. Yeah, Kendrick, J. Cole is there. You got to throw in Black Thought. What's that young dude? Is it? A lot of these. I don't listen to. I listen to so much that I don't get hyper focused in just one genre. But there's a dude named Jid or JID or something. Jid, are you familiar with that dude?
Yeah.
Real strong breath control. Switches flows real good. Real young dude. So those is like the ones that today in terms of like skill wise. Some people say Benny the Butcher.
So where do you put J. Cole?
J. Cole. He definitely got to be put in the top 3, right?
Top 3.
Today,
okay.
Right today, right now. That's it's still relevant. And doing things.
Yeah.
I got a homeboy, man, Jay. J-Man, he was cold-blooded white dude, man, but listen, know way more about hip-hop than me, you know what I mean? And you all, if he was talking with you all would be like, damn, this dude is up my game, you know what I mean? But Jay would tell you J. Cole is the best one out, period, right now. Maybe the only one he would argue is say that might be over him is, of course, is Lamar. You know what I mean? But he put that number 2.
Let's pivot now. Let's pivot.
Wait. I didn't answer this question.
Go ahead.
So let me answer this question. First of all, he's better than the other ones. He's actually the best. He's definitely one of them ones. He's definitely one of the top 3. He's actually the best skilled, actually the best out of them. I agree with Big Daddy Kane. Big Daddy Kane says this, I say this, that he is the best out of those 3. You know what I'm saying? Definitely representing our era. So, you know, that's what's up.
I need that fade.
Yeah. So, you know, that's what's up. Yeah, that's, you know, that's what's up. He's that dude. He's that dude. I'm just saying his
J. Cole cold-blooded, man. I mean,
he's lyrically superior to Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Lamar is more socially.
I thought he was more mature in that whole situation.
Exactly.
You know,
it's a whole nother level. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought he was the most composed. You know, the most wise.
More sophisticated.
See, I mean,
wait, I got one question. Nice guy. We don't have to take the fade. Are you smoking wet cigarettes? Are you smoking dip cigarettes, buddy?
See, I mean, y'all talking about, listen, y'all, I think Nice Guy and Student X is talking about the way he conducted.
Big Daddy Kane.
We talking about rap. We talking about rap. Gonna step to the front and rap their ass off. I mean, when somebody calls you out, Kendrick called them out, and he said rap, and then he backed down. That's a loss.
It went personal.
We talking about rap.
It went personal. It's one thing to go at someone MC. It's one thing to go personal. It started going to fight and stuff like that.
He switched it to Drake. He didn't go personal.
I'm not talking about Drake. I'm not talking about J. Cole. They was talking about fighting and stuff like that. That's when he was like, "Look, now this is getting too much." So no, I'm talking about J. Cole. They were talking about that. I'm saying that's why he pulled out of it. He didn't pull out of it like, "Oh,
he said he pulled out. He pulled out because he didn't want to lose his brothers. It was just a rap battle. The same way when he did Control, I'm trying to kill and murder all of you niggas. He wasn't talking about literally murdering nobody. I just want to let y'all know I'm the best. And J. Cole.
And he let him know.
J. Cole backed down. That's the problem.
It went that battle went to a personal hissy fit nastiness. It wasn't about
what is he talking about for
it? Wasn't about skills. It wasn't about this wasn't a battle of skills. This wasn't a battle of skills. It really got personal.
You are totally wrong on this, Nice Guy. I have no clue what you're talking about. This was all lyrical, bar for bar, where he went at with Drake because Drake got personal and stuff. But he didn't even get on J. Cole's ass because J. Cole already jumped out the window and said, "I surrender." What are you talking about?
Go back and play the lyrics. Go back and play the lyrics. Go listen to what was actually said, and actually go pull up the articles when you first pulled off about it. Again, it's one thing about going at a person on the MC level. It's another thing about going on basically below the belt. So I'm just saying, some people don't support that type of stuff. It's not okay to be in a rap battle talking about somebody's dead grandmama. If that's something that you rock with, that's fine. That's not something to me. That's not MCing. That's just that's going off the level.
Brother Afro say none of them messing with Absol. Salute to Absol, but I don't think he's not even in the conversation.
Well, because he's talking about skill. When you talk about pure skill, Absol's on a whole nother level. But we're talking about the people that are basically the Rushmore of this era that are basically the big name.
Let me ask a question. So my whole thing, what I be trying to figure out is that, where I feel like the hate on J. Cole come from. Is it that when he came out, back in that song like that, when Metro Boomin and Future saying, "Motherfucker, the big three is just Big Me," you know what I mean? And just being that bold, you know what I mean, like that, and then that's what did it. Or is it the
talking about Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole?
You know what I mean? And then he went to college and graduated. You know what I mean?
You talking about J. Cole or Ken? Who you talking about?
I'm talking about J. Cole. Because
the only problem that people have with him is that he backed out of the battle. You can't talk about you the best rapper and then back out of a battle. It's a blood fest, and he backed out of the blood fest.
We had a whole show on that. Remember that show we did, Floyd?
I remember the show. And Floyd forgot it. You know what I mean? Because I remember
Did J. Cole dodge a bullet? That was the name of the show. We did a whole show with memes of the bullet coming from Super Mario Brothers and J. Cole dodging that motherfucker. That was a show.
What was the date on that, man? I want to find my notes on that. Find me the date, because I know I still got my notes on it. But the main point I brought up was reminding people that J. Cole at this time, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I believe, had got a hold of him. There was a conversation, and then I know in the wisdom of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he would have brought him back to when skillfully the enemies of all of us, no matter where it's East Coast, West Coast, had put Biggie and Pac on a collision course to where they could turn like a whole coast versus coast, dynamic and have violence and killing, and ultimately that would take those two heavyweights out. And so he was being shown the wisdom of what ultimately was being set up was for, these brothers to be harmed potentially. You know what I mean? And so I think J. Cole submitted to that type of guidance. It was like, you know what? There could be a hidden hand here, and I need to stand down. You know what I mean? So that's why I said he took the more.
I just pulled up an article. I just pulled up an article with his own words. He said, "I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The past 2 days felt terrible." He's talking about he pulled this track. He says, he asked for forgiveness from Mar for calling it a misstep and said he hoped to get back to my true path. He said that, he said, I felt conflicted. He said, I know how I feel about my peers, and I've been blessed to stand beside them. But then he literally says, he tried to keep the tone of his verse friendly, but the end result didn't fit right with his spirit. He went at him. His bar, his own lyrics. He was like, this went to a nasty place. That's why he pulled back. It wasn't an issue Go ahead. That's his own words. That's his own words, man. I'm just saying, that's his own words.
Yeah, but look at that. Look at his words. Someone grabbed him. Talk to him. Get him guidance.
In this conversation.
Hey.
we know what happened.
Defo said he pulled not out because of the white boy in him.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Because there'd be like hate on J. Cole and slant. And I'd be feeling like, if you know the history, then they're like, man, okay, man, this brother right here, his mama's white, albeit his daddy did run out on him, but his mama's white. And then the other thing about him too is that, this brother, went to school. You know what I mean? And when I say went to school,
he went to school. That don't mean nothing in the rap battle. Why you keep talking about his education?
Because it's why he went into school. It's what the school he did.
He won't blood. Battle blood. You fight to the end. That's why my shit said, listen, look. My shit says, Valentine's Day, I'm a fighter, not a lover. You fight to the end. You fight to the end. You don't talk. I don't care what. I don't even got to mess with you. I don't care.
That's
care.
A tattoo.
So when you box,
can you beat Kendrick Lamar? No.
Hey, so when you box, is it okay to bite somebody's ear off? Is it okay to punch him below the belt?
No.
That had nothing to do with that.
We're talking about a rap battle where it's just
and I'm saying, but there is punching below the belt.
Use your words. Use your words. And he was scared to use his words. He backed out his words. I feel bad. Get the out of here.
He used the wrong words.
Wait, guess what? Mr. Nice Guy? Have you watched the rap battle? The URL
rap battle? Yeah, I have. Yes, I have watched the rap battle.
Mama, your dead kid.
I know, that's what I said. That's not okay. Again, I brought that point up. I literally said that. Again, I said that ain't nothing about no MC, and that's
you making these rules up right now, bro.
I don't believe in that shit.
Let's move on and talk about how important is your word. We're gonna stay on J. Cole. We still talking about J. Cole because here's the situation. The reason we asked the question, how important is your word? J. Cole on one, I think it was the I forget that other tape he did. He had one of the great legendary, in my opinion, Cameron from the Dipset is a legend, and he had him on an album. I think he did a song and he did like an intro, and Cameron was like, "Hey man, just You ain't got to pay me for it. Just I might need you to do a feature on my album, or I might need to do an interview. And J. Cole was like, cool, I got you, no problem. So J. Cole, a year go by, he's like, hey, when can you do it? And he said, I can't do it right now because you know this rap beef. And if I do an interview, I have to talk about it, and I don't want to talk about it. So he was like, cool. And then it was like, what about now? Can you do an interview now? I can't do it now because I don't have a project. When I get an album coming out, then I'll do it. And Cameron was like, cool. And then the album comes out, and it's about to come out. Can you do it now? You know what? I can't keep. I hate keep breaking my word, so I'm just gonna back out and can't do it. What does that leave Cameron? What does that leave him? So he said, okay, well, he filed a lawsuit against him. And now that's why we ask the question, how important is your word? If you say you're going to do something for somebody, how important is your word? J. Cole, Mr. So-called super respectable, Mr. lovable guy, the good guy, Mr. Regular. How important is your word, Mr. Regular, Mr. Smart guy?
Mr. College degree.
Yeah.
Again, you're presuming it's his word. You're presuming that's what he said, but go ahead, Walt.
I'm not presuming. That's what Cameron said, and he ain't said
exactly.
Shit.
That's what Cam said. That's not what
J.
Cole said.
He ain't said Cameron lying.
He did refute it. He did
What
refute it.
He
said he literally in the lawsuit. He said I didn't agree. He said we didn't agree to any of that stuff. He just said I was going to do that, but not as a condition of him being a feature, because he was literally paid for it.
I believe Cameron.
He wasn't paid for it.
Wait, come on.
He was paid for it. He was paid for it. That's what the lawyer said.
What lawyer? Who lawyer?
The lawyer is the article. Pull it out. I don't know if I forwarded the article.
Let's talk about how important is your word. I believe Cameron. I believe J. Cole is lying. Light-skinned niggas tend to do that. Now, I just had to throw that in there. That was a joke. Stu next. Don't trip. 6'5", 290. Don't trip, man. No, but listen. Your word as a man is very important. Sometimes that's all you have is your fucking word. Like there are situations that happen where someone has said something to me and they lied, they did not stick to their word, and guess what? I'm holding them to that to this very day. And that was like maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago type stuff. That's why, and I tell my sons that your word is very important. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. There was one time where my ex-wife, she had promised to do something for my children. I was like, that was kind of messed up. But we didn't have the money all the way together at the time. But I said, still, it was still messed up. There were times where I promised my kids stuff, but I didn't do it right then and there. But I did it a little bit later because that's when the money got there. But I still stuck to my guns with that, straight up. So your word is very important. Your word is all I have in this world is my word and my balls.
Okay, let me say one thing about this. Your word is important, but you can't be sued over just your word. You have to be sued over paperwork. So
you get your ass whooped.
Oh, well, whoop his ass. Don't take him to court.
They grown men now, El Pooh. They are grown. The gentleman thing to do is take him to court, and he laid out how much money he potentially could have made off of a J. Cole interview.
That's your word against his.
It's like, come on, man.
That's the only thing about your word is your word against his in court.
But that's when it becomes sucker shit.
Right.
It's right. Take me to court. That's when J. Cole, if that's the way J. Cole really becomes a sucker. If he's
going to court?
If he agreed.
No, he's saying it never happened.
I'm saying if he agreed to it. If he
agreed, that's the point. If he agreed to it. I agree.
He did.
And you don't know that. You speak again, your word is important. I agree. Everything you guys said about your word, that's extremely important. But again, Cameron's testimony on the situation is not the end all be all. You know what I'm saying?
Did Cameron have two features on his albums?
He may have had two features on them. That has nothing to do about what the recompense, what was worked out about it. Because again, according to the lawsuit,
I'm quitting the Focus up, so I resign.
Okay, that's cool. So again, he's accepted defeat. He's basically doing what J. Cole did. So that's okay. That's all right. So I won. So anyway, so that having been said, my point.
I'm out of retirement.
No, take back.
See, I lied.
Again, my point is that you taking this testimony. But like
I don't know why you guys are turning me into the J. Cole apologist on here.
Wait a second, student, before you go. Like El Pooh said, you got to understand when it comes to certain deals, when a certain amount of money involved, the oral contract is not something that's going to hold up in court. So if you have something that is not going to hold up in court, and then you're going to sue them, Dude, you can't sell a house on oral contract. It has to be a written contract. So I'm just saying, in order to enforce it.
I mean, first of all, on that point, that's not true, because when you're dealing with an employer, for example, there are things that you could get hired and you get, things it could be a basic contract, but there could be some verbal assurances made by your employer that's not actually indeed in your employment contract that becomes word, and admissible, of course, and something that you can't hold employers accountable for, even though it wasn't, technically written down, but and going back to what we're talking about right now is that, of course, one's word is important, but like anytime we're giving our word, especially when we're dealing with business, is that we have to then take our word and then it becomes documented on paper, and then ultimately that's what we're agreeing to, is once it's actually documented. And the last thing I wanted to address was in regards to, again, J. Cole, man, is that, look, man, J. Cole, again, very strategic and wise, he saw when that battle intensified, real quick, when that battle intensified, with these allegations and these real personal situations started coming up and whatnot, he was like, an early exit shielded him from reputation risk, association with these allegations, being dragged into a he protected him.
Don't even bother, Floyd.
He was wise for that, and this album is probably going to do really, really, really well.
The album is great. Let's jump to commercials, then we're gonna come back with the next topics.
More heat, folks.
The Brea Trucking, for all of your trucking needs, East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast, North to South, South to North. Y'all saw the phone number. Call it if you need anything delivered or shipped from state to state. The brother will come pick it up in his truck and deliver it for you.
Wait. Let me get my reminder about the brother LaBrea. I once seen him with one propeller from a helicopter where I had one propeller. He made like $8,000. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna say how much.
That's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey. If you want it in person, go to the Petty Vice in Venice or to the Afro City Marketplace at the Crenshaw Mall. Salute, Sister Nidra.
Focus Up Network, salute, membership, salute. Appreciate you.
Brother Cam.
Yes,
Other Cam. Their words is good.
Other Cam. So I want to read this for you. Under the legal doctrine known as the statute of frauds. Listen. Under the legal doctrine known as the statute of frauds, certain contracts must be in writing and signed to be legally enforceable. Key examples include contracts for real estate sales, leases longer than 1 year, goods valued at $500 or more, or agreements that cannot be completed within 1 year, and promises to pay another's debt.
Well, that's the legal law.
But
we're talking about man code. As far as man goes, your word is bond.
I'm talking about going to the court.
Before I let my word pass.
He just said that. Wait, listen, nice guy for once in your life. Listen what he was saying. Did you hear him?
I agreed with all you. You didn't listen. You didn't listen to anything.
Bond.
Hey, Mr. Floyd X, I agreed with all of you guys about your word. Did you hear me say that before the segment? I'm talking about if you sue somebody, it's not an enforceable contract.
See, that's white folks shit that they start doing that under stuff back with the Indians. That's how that stuff all started. That's how that all started.
Show your flag. That's white people stuff.
People word used to mean something. People word used to mean something. If I say I'm gonna give you this flower,
I'm not talking about it. Don't mean nothing. I didn't say it didn't mean anything. Your word means everything. Don't mean nothing. What do you mean? I agree with you. I said your word means everything. I keep saying that. I agree with you, Walk. I'm just saying it's not.
It comes from the Bible, though. It comes from the Bible. That's the root.
You got it. moving on. Let's
Let's
jump.
call on this light skin shit.
All right, let's jump to the Corey Holcomb. Let's jump. This is the show. This is the show cover. Now let me put a preface out here first. Let me put this out here first. There we go. Corey Holcomb. I want to make it clear. I know the show title is Certified Fart N-Word. We tried to. I wanted to mix the two. That's another story, and I don't personally consider him a fart N-word. And we just got knocked off of Twitch because we used the word. So we're not on Twitch right now.
Shit.
Yeah, so we did. I wouldn't be surprised to get taken off of YouTube, but it is what it is. But listen, Corey Holcomb versus the media. I watch his show religiously every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. I watch it. It's a great show to me, but he's taking a lot of heat right now. People are compiling his words, things that when I watch it in real time, I took him as jokes. I still think it's joke. It could be out of context, but it's hard to defend. It's hard to defend, Corey. It's hard to defend. So I just sit back and let people take their shots at you, brother. But it's hard to defend when you're talking about calling a 6-year-old girl a whore and things of that nature. You can't defend it, man. You can't defend it. Anybody want to go speak about the Corey Holcomb situation?
Corey Holcomb trash. I've been saying this for the last 5 years. How long we been doing this show? 7, 6 years, something like that. Focus Up show. The brother is one of them brothers. I have a very keen eye for a bitch nigga. He's a bitch nigga. And since that Zoe Williams incident, I didn't like how they did Ari Spears. That was some sucker shit. As the host of the show, I would have been like, yo, bro, chill out. What you doing? Then enforce it and then do little promos and laughing at Ari Spears. Ari Spears didn't come on that show to get his behind whooped. He ain't a real nigga like that. He ain't gonna fight back. But then all this stuff, and then there was a lot of stuff I've been seeing with Corey Holcomb. He's been a bully, and he bullied the co-host. He been doing that. He did that with Darlene recently. That was so sucker. That was so weak. I wanted to jump through the screen and choke him. He attacked his co-host because he's still mad at Anton Daniels. Remember, Anton Daniels was like, I had a nice conversation with Darlene. Found out a lot about her. He looking at Darlene like the enemy because he's a little boy. He's a little punk. He's a weasel hiding in a corner. He like, are you with me? Well, fuck you too. Fuck you too. Well, get him. I don't want to fight. That's Corey Holcomb. He's a sucker and he's a fart nigga.
Still next. You got something to say about Corey Holcomb?
Nah, man. I'm just not up on it like you guys on this one, you know. So I'm gonna just trust you all's, judgment and commentary.
Yeah, I got nothing really to say about it. I mean, the bottom line is he's been doing the thing that he's been doing from the beginning. I don't feel like he's been inconsistent. So I feel like if you rock with him before, you're probably still gonna rock with him.
Wait, since y'all ain't let me say one more thing. He got into it with the attorney guy, that brother in Atlanta. Lead attorney.
You got with the lead?
Yeah,
we can speak on that one.
That was disappointing. That was hella disappointing.
We can speak on that one.
See, now, nice guy. That is up your alley. That's straight contact.
Yeah, no, we can speak on that one.
Go finish your point, Walt.
Hey, he got it because I watch the lead attorney. Like sometimes I watch all kind of shit. You want that different perspective? He gonna give you that legal perspective, and he on point. He on point like a pyramid. He on point, and he was like, "Yo, I went through the proper channels," and then he like, "Yo, your lawyer is doing something behind your back that you might not know about," and Corey Holcomb just not that intelligent. Now, it's nothing wrong with not being that smart. You just gotta know who to pick to be behind you. I'm speaking Corey Holcomb. Talk. You to know who to pick to be the person to represent you. That ain't gonna mess you up. That's what it is with Corey Holcomb. You ain't that bright and you want being and you're a bitch ass nigga. And I need that fade.
El Pooh, you got something to say? I'll speak on the lawyer situation, but you got something to say about Corey Holcomb?
Hori, I like Hori.
Ouch. My bad.
Go ahead.
One thing I can say about Corey Holcomb is he's not a very loyal person because I see all of his co-hosts he done got into it with from Freeze to who was that? Zoe
Williams, Mr. Marcus,
and Precise, I think his name was. A whole lot. Precise probably deserved it though, but everybody else. And you know what? I guarantee you, your boy Craig Thax, he's next too. Guarantee you.
Yeah, he gonna get tired of kissing butt.
I don't see it happening. I don't see that happening. But go ahead,
Yeah,
nice job.
so the thing with the lawyer, he basically said, look, I'm gonna say his name, I'm gonna mention him. He goes, the lead attorney, he's the reason why he's not pushing back with what I'm saying, that that I didn't do this stuff, is because he knows that it's true. He goes, or that, he goes, basically, I didn't give him permission. So he knows that it's not true. And it's like the lead attorney's like, dude, I had a great time on your show. Everybody treated me. I'm a proponent of you. I'm a person that's defending you. He was saying that I think you got a raw deal with the sister that you smacked and all this other stuff. He's basically like, I'm on your side, and I want to show you how you have a defense to it. You know what I'm saying? But Corey Holcomb just kind of went at him. He goes, look, I'm gonna show you the proof of what it is. The reason why I was silent is because I didn't want to go there, because you did me right. He goes, but look, here goes the receipts. I spoke to your attorney. Your attorney said it's on. Then he ultimately said it was off. And what I was saying when me and Walk was arguing with the text and stuff like that, I said attorney is not going to talk to a person that's represented by attorney. Attorney's going to talk to the attorney. That's how that is. Once you have any type of adversarial type of situation, you know better than talk directly to somebody who's represented client. That's going to be a problem. So I mean, he just proved that Corey, look, you were wrong. Just to step up, just own it. You know what I'm saying? Because this dude, he's still not trying to dog you out. He's still trying to be decent about it. So salute to the lead attorney. He was 10 toes. Yeah.
I don't fuck with Muslim niggas, and I don't fuck with attorneys.
Fuck out of here.
I don't fuck with Nation Islam niggas. They'll fuck your ass up. Attorneys, they'll get you legally.
Okay. All right. So right now, anybody want anything more on Corey Holcomb, or we good?
He's a bitch.
We're good.
All right. So because to bring up the reason we brought up the fart anyway, it was the home HGTV star Nicole. I never heard of her until this, but let me pull this video up real quick. And where's it at? Hold on, I gotta do it different, so I gotta share screen. All right, YouTube, allow, share.
He's giving us a lesson.
Yeah. All right.
Why? It's my last one. Oh, fart nigger. What the fuck is that I just said? Nick, you gotta, can you kill that? Oh, fuck.
So she was about to say shit, and she was like, "Oh, let me catch myself. Let me not say." She goes, "Shh, let me catch myself." And then she said, "Fart nigger." Hard ER.
I never heard that word in my life. I never heard those two words put together. I heard, "Did you fart, nigga?" But I never heard fart, nigga. Never heard it. And it was disgusting because that's just in her vocabulary. Nobody looking. She probably uses that all the time. And just like it did, somebody in the back on it, the white friends probably just laugh. They, "Oh, fart nigga. God damn it, fart nigga." Come on.
You know what's funny? You're right. She probably use it like fuck, or not to say the F word, fuck nigga. That's more comfortable. It's just like, remember with that the guy was running for president, Niggerhead Ranch. Like, they use this type of stuff. That's why I say that a lot of them, the majority of them are racist. All of them, basically. They are racist, but it is what it is. But look, this happened to me one time. I hit my toe. One time, I was walking in my house. It was dark, and I hit my toe on the side of the couch, and I said, "Holy hunky legs." So it happens.
Never heard that one either.
No, it has. She's a fucking racist.
Bro, I get it. You know, because I've been around white folks and whatnot. So what it is that's a compound word, right? You know what I'm saying? Two things that you do not appreciate it. You know, you're gonna combine them together. You don't like the fart smells. You know what I mean? You don't like niggas. You know what I'm saying? So fart nigga it gives emphasis. You know what I'm saying? You know, on the situation, but that was not her first rodeo. You know, clearly, because that was in her, you know, her subconscious. You know, it was just there, and it just came out. You know, just man. But then it also told on her production crew, everyone else she's around. You know what I mean? You know, but you saw they froze up. They was like, man, we're not gonna even acknowledge, You know, we got anything to do with this right here.
It must have been too late because it was it live or something?
It was live. It was a live.
It had to be. It had to be.
She caught
Had to be,
herself.
you
She was
know what I
about to
mean?
say shit, and she caught herself. She goes, "Shh, fart nigga." It's just like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, El Poo, what you got to say about this, brother?
She might be German. I think she was trying to say Fargenugen or something like that. But this is another example of white people being white people. You don't have to apologize for being white any longer. So I can't give it no further.
Oh, good point, El Poo.
You need to be on her her team.
That's a fucking point.
Hey, no, it was cold blooded. If she get fired, is she gonna raise millions? You know what I mean? Just for people to just, you know what I mean? It's wow. It's an interesting phenomenon. And this just bring, you know, I'm just gonna briefly bring it up, you know, is I wouldn't mind exploring white people and how they move and think and act, you know what I mean, in general, obviously, you know what I mean, being facetiously, it's not everyone, but just, you know, different situations, you know, and look into it a little deeper, you know what I mean, because sometimes, man, it's some funny shit, you know what I mean, that's what this was right here, you know, but to a degree, but it's like a wake-up call too, you know what I mean, it's just that, look, man, you know, you can be around some people, you know, but you know, you don't know what they like in their personal lives, and so they don't have a lot of, you know, people that look like you know, around, you know what I mean, you could assume that, you know, things like that take place.
Well, it's gonna be a big word now. It's gonna be used a whole bunch now. It's gonna be the new demur.
Oh, for sure.
You know what
We're
I'm saying?
using
So,
it.
you
We're
know.
using it.
So I'm just saying.
Hey, I like what El Poo said, Farfanugan.
Yeah.
All right, we're focus up overtime right now. Focus up OT. So let's anybody sticking around for the
Stick around for a little bit. Y'all want to talk about the Epstein files real quick?
Yep, the Epstein and Pamdemonium. That was the show. I can't find it up here. Oh, here we go.
Wait. Well, shout out to it's Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
I got a few minutes. I got to run to the airport, but I got a few minutes just to chop it up for sure.
Pamdemonium. We already covered the Valentine's, Mr.
Wait.
Walton.
Oh, we did. Well, I'm here with my lady. Say hi.
Hey, what's happening there? Thank you for taming him. Thank you for fixing him.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we both like the Marilyn Monroe, nigga. Hey, you see it.
All right, let's the Pamdemonium. Pam Bondi did another hearing, House Judiciary Committee. She did another I think this is her second one, and it was off the rails, ridiculous as usual, and it's just unbelievable that this is the what you got, Attorney General, who's supposed to represent the top law person in America, and her whole thing there was just defending Epstein, Trump, and all the pedophiles. They had the victims by sitting behind her. She refused to look. It was the most disgusting display of leadership here in the U.S. Ever. Like, I'm looking at this shit like, people really putting up with this shit. And we got video. I want to play the video. Y'all want to jump to it? What y'all want to do?
Play the video, please. Play whatever you got. Let's talk about it.
All right, let's jump to this video. This is her being ridiculous.
In your opinion?
It's been 12 months.
I am reclaiming my time, and when I reclaim my time,
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady has reclaimed her time.
I'm not going to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
This is your committee, and she is embarrassing you.
on you.
This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Madam Attorney
reclaim
General.
your time.
Madam Attorney General,
because I don't like it.
Mr. Chairman, will you explain to the witness that he does reclaim his time?
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction.
I'm
If they're not
talking.
privileged,
Quiet.
don't.
Well,
Did
Mr.
she
Chairman,
post
regular
anything?
order, please.
She
Regular order.
posted nothing on her X account, on her Twitter account during the Biden years.
Gentlelady.
Yet now, all of a sudden,
question
she's
asked.
going after
Committee will be in order.
There was no question
Shame on
asked.
you.
This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney General.
My apologies, I couldn't tell.
Disqualified. I agree. Now she had notes like cheat sheets on everybody that was questioning her, and then this is another very tricky part that they did. 2 days before the hearing, they allowed all the senators who was going to be questioning her to come to the I don't know where they went to, but they was access to all the records, all the FC. They had access, right? So the senators, mostly Democrats, they all went in there and they was looking up stuff. They took a record of what they looked up so they could use it against them at the Senate committee hearing. So the next day she had notes on this person looked up this. So they might want to attack that. Be ready to attack back.
I think she just wait, hold on. She is one of Trump's attack dogs. And I think they send her like just go out there and just say whatever. Because it ain't gonna mean nothing anyway to nobody and no one gives a shit. They don't. Let's go out there and just have a whole big show. And you think she's gonna get in trouble by anybody? She already know after Trump get out of office and Vance get in office, because the Dems have no voice, no statement, no nothing for the next 4 years to come when it's time.
That's your opinion.
I know. Yeah.
That's what you do all the time.
Yeah, but yeah, in my opinion. So it's like go out there and you're gonna be rich. We're gonna put you in a higher office after this. She might be freaking Secretary of State next time. Come on, she's loyal to the gang members, which is Trump and the team. That's what we working with right now. Dems have nothing to afford that or defend against it. So she just said what she said. She just was in there freestyle like she freestyle rapper, hip hop hatter, and getting fatter. My pocket's getting badder. You know what I'm saying? That's what she was doing. And all that shit don't mean shit because she know it ain't gonna be no punishment for it.
Who's been winning every special election and everything since then? I'm just saying it. You know, it's it doesn't look like that's gonna play out the way you say, Walk. I don't know. We'll find out. That's why they play the game. Student next, what you got to say? Did you see this Pam Bondi thing? Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, man. Look, let me tell you, man. What Pam Bondi think of you, me, and even Walk is she think we all fart niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know, straight up. You know what I mean? Listen, like the thing about her.
Keep going, man. Keep going.
You know, this is the thing is that the American people in general, even many conservatives, are fed up. You know, right now. You know, because you know what they saw is again. You know, this thing with Jeffrey Epstein and this fallout that the Trump administration is dealing with. You know, I don't think they're appreciating it enough. You know, to date. You know, now they're trying to blame it all on radical leftist lunatics and all this other type of stuff. Nah, you know, that Epstein thing, you have people from both sides of the aisle, you know, and the base, you know, there is no MAGA. You know what I mean? There is no MAGA. Right now, there's just what I feel like are more personality worshipers. You know, there is some things that for sure that under Trump are happening that would not have happened underneath the Democrats, you know? So again, you know, I always give my disclaimer, you know, I still would take my approach was third party, you know what I mean? You know, but, you know, if I had a gun to my head, it would have been Trump. And to this day, and nothing would have changed. Even of all the things I hate, you know, that's going on, you know, it still would be that, you know, but in general, this Epstein fallout is big. Her performance and lack of empathy and how she was behaving, you know what I mean? You know, to me, what the word that comes to mind is, you know, she a bitch ass nigga.
Ouch.
Ooh, horn. Oh,
damn.
Infamous El Poo.
That was a horn.
Man. See, this is what happens when Trump says you're not doing enough. So he said he thinks she's not attacking or whatever he said, you know, to get her motivated. It actually works. But the thing is, if one of us as a fart nigga was up there doing something like this, I wonder how quick it would be for us to be held into contempt, you know? So, whatever happened to the word contempt of Congress? It doesn't apply here, right?
I think she got caught. I think one of them pointed out that she just lied. One of the senators pointed out that you might have just lied. So hopefully they could dig into that. And
that's perjury. That's perjury. That's a whole different thing. I'm talking about.
But look, the thing is that I keep trying to explain to y'all, and you know, I know I'm conspiracy brother, but this thing that we call the United States, you know, it's like many of us are holding on to it as a relic of the past. This is not what that is anymore. You know what I mean? You know, it's just, you know, a facade is being held. I think the people are going to find out, you know, soon if the more pushback and as people come together and unity to oppose what's happening via our government, then I think we're all going to find out, you know, that these people, as Michael Jackson would say, they don't really care about us.
Student X, I was waiting for you to bring up Candace Owen. I thought you were gonna bring in Candace Owen, say that America is due for a revolution because after they didn't release the Epstein files, she retired from politics, is what she said. I was waiting for Student X.
Ain't shit in them Epstein files. Ain't nothing there. It's no there. It'd been exposed already.
People are losing their jobs. Right now, we have fallout happening from the Epstein files right now as we speak. They're taking out their posts, you know what I mean, throughout the world, you know, right now.
And that's something I wanted to bring up too. Is Europe's government morally superior to America's government? Because they are ousting kings and duchess and all that shit. They like, oh, you were part of Epstein, you out of here. They removing titles. But let me play an update. Let me play a timeline of this Epstein file because one of the senators laid it out well. Let me find that one.
It's been 12 months since you gave Republican influencers part one of the Epstein files. You said the list was on your desk. Then a memo came out and said that there was no list. Phase 2 of the binders never happened. The President of the United States says the Epstein thing is a hoax. He blasts his own base for wanting the release of the files. He blamed Barack Obama. Republicans voted against the release of the files in the Rules Committee. Then they refused to even return to the Rules Committee until they could be protected from future votes on the release. Speaker Johnson sends Congress home a day early before break. They sent the Deputy Attorney General to meet with Maxwell. She says something favorable about the president. Miraculously, she gets transferred to a minimum security facility. No one can explain why. Miraculously, the leaks to the Wall Street Journal stop. We come back from break. We have the Massey discharge petition. Republicans drop a rule, a non-binding resolution trying to kill the Massey discharge petition. The White House says passing the Massey discharge petition is a hostile act. Trying to stop the necessary 218 signatures, according to Republican members that signed it, the White House brought them into the Situation Room, you know, the place where the president goes for time of war, promising things like appropriations or maybe even to primary them. People in the room say you were there. It didn't work. We get the 218 signatures. We eventually passed the Massey petition. You guys didn't release the files. You were forced by Congress, every member of the House except one, and the entire Senate. The reason the president signed it is because it was a veto-proof majority. We can't agree on anything, and yet the entire House but one member and the whole Senate forced the administration to release the files.
Blah, blah, blah. So now it's released, now what?
Look, meanwhile, what he did say was Ghislaine Maxwell dragged before Congress, pleads the fifth, begs for clemency, deny, you know what I mean? Chappelle Roan, the tele agency with the CEO. I mean, man, it's so Larry Summers resigned from OpenAI board.
They call it
but there's nothing to see here? Bro, there's so much to see here, bro. The people in general, they want these public officials that rule over them, that are in, that act like this, and they want them out. They want them out.
Ghislaine Maxwell says 29 Epstein associates cut secret DOJ deals. Turns out there is a list. 6 names readily available if you unredact them. Co-conspirators named, but we got them when you unredact them. Maxwell recently tells a House Oversight Committee that she wants clemency to release more names. Kash Patel under oath said Trump's name appears less than 100 times in the files. We now know that's not true. Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name appears in the book about God. Okay, by the way, this is the Trump Bible. Move over, King James.
Let's go. Let's start arresting.
In meantime, Representative Thomas Massey, leads this investigation.
Let's get to the get.
Say again? I'm sorry.
Let's get to the get. Let's get to arresting people who F with children and all that. Everybody, no matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican, if you
the Democrats are saying,
let's start convicting people. Y'all been talking about it for years. He been dead for like 6 years.
Meanwhile, certain reports are showing him potentially in Israel through facial recognition technology, wearing a beard. People are saying that he's alive and well, like we've been saying for a while. You know, look, you know, these conspiracies, you know, are coming, are real, you know, these days. right now, in the meantime, Representative Massey, he posts online on Twitter saying essentially, I'm not going to kill myself. You know what I'm saying? You know, and there's nothing on my property that will allow me. I shoot straight. You know what I mean? The whole 9 yards. Look, man, these Massey things, this Epstein files. There is so much going on. There's so much more that is going to get revealed to the American people. It means, meanwhile, Trump is attacking Massey, the Zionists attacking Massey. You know what I mean? But we understand what the hell's going on. This thing is getting exposed, and it would never have happened underneath a Democrat. And this is why the redeeming quality, if you will, of Trump being in power is that we will not be getting to this point, where Trump were not in power. I'll give them that. You know what I'm saying? The base demanded it, and they still having to fight for it because something is preventing Trump from going all out. But slowly.
Yeah, that's a mischaracterization of what happened. The bottom line is the Democrats are the one that have fought to expose this thing.
Let's get to the
sick truths.
What's there? Let's go. Let's start prosecuting. Let's start locking people up if it's something there. What are y'all? It's like we talking in a circle, baby.
That's what this whole Bondi thing was about. They're like literally telling everybody, "Hey, you're the what you call it? Let's do something about it." She's not even acknowledge. She wouldn't even turn around and acknowledge the victims back there.
Maxine Waters, whoever in office, Dolores Tucker. Let's go.
They don't have the power. The people, you're right. The people that need to do it. The people that need to do it are Trump's people, and he won't allow them to.
Oh, come on. Let's do it then. Well, then shut the fuck up about it then.
No, they keep complaining. That's what you protest for.
That would be the worst thing to do, Walt.
Yeah, if you don't like something, you protest. That's what you do. You fight.
Okay, let's do something.
Look, we have a conservative. We have a conservative representative, who's telling us that the DOJ's process is a total failure and pointing to the unredacted survivor names. Right? They unredacted the survivor names. Like literally the worst thing you could do to a survivor, but you're going to go and protect, and redact the names of all these, these other individuals, the Johns, the perpetrators, the criminals. You see what I'm saying? And then you have Bondi and this Trump administration, running interference. But the thing is with Trump, is that, like I said, to me, who knows what's going on, but it's just that everything he's doing is so-called backfiring from his position. It feels like is on purpose. You know what I mean? So Trump could be playing that 4 or 5D chess that people be talking about. I don't know. But what I do know is that this was not happening underneath Democrats, and it slowly but surely is happening underneath, this administration. And this is what is going to topple, and give people their true freedom back and take back America and then make America great again. Is getting these people the hell out of our business, the people's business, remove them from power and these positions of authority, and they need to be replaced with people with a higher moral caliber. I agree.
Yeah. Well, let me say this much: it's a damn shame that people like Corey Holcomb is taking so much heat for those jokes, and these people that's actually doing some pedophile stuff is not getting punished at all.
Yeah, because they don't care. They made it was a big thing. It was a big thing what they ran. So when the Democrats said, "Okay, let's go ahead and give it to them," they ran on that too. They ran on releasing that. So when you said that they wouldn't release it, they would. They tried to be impartial. They said, "Look, the Department of Justice, they run that show. We don't want to politicize that." We thought about it, but we thought, like, look, we just need to get out of the hair and let them do what they do. But now, after the fact, everybody wants to see the stuff. Release it.
That's
and
because
now that we release it,
they never thought that it would ever come out. That's all. It's just a game.
Or it was, basically leaving it to the people that were actually, because again, this is stuff that was part of a file of an investigation. This stuff usually doesn't come out once, if you don't go forward with the investigation, with the prosecution, whatever, this stuff usually dies. So you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yo, nice guy. Who had sex with children? Is that redacted or what's up? Who do you know or what? Who?
We know who's accused. They talk about
who
it. They
had sex with a kid. I'm talking about
who went to jail. Who went to jail for it? Who went to jail for it?
Wait, hold on. I'm talking about people that's not in jail. Who had sex with a child? Because somebody redacted. What did they redact? What they redacted? Is it like, yeah, I fucked the kid? What's going on? What's there that we don't know? What's not there that we don't know?
You know why we don't know? This is the reason why we don't know.
Nigga, who did the redacting?
The people that's covering everything up. The DOJ.
The people that's covering the stuff. Yeah, exactly. The people, Bondi, those people
redacted it. So they protecting criminals? Is that what y'all saying?
They are protecting criminals.
Apparently.
Okay.
They are protecting criminals.
So when it comes out, and then now, if somebody read all this shit, bro, if it was some illegal crimes that occur with somebody that was a sitting member of Congress or sitting in the presidency, I think they would have been like, yo, excuse me, put your hands behind your back. You don't think so?
You don't. They were, first of all, what? You don't read all. You don't know all of this stuff unless it's given to you. This part was part of an investigation.
Who redacted?
Listen. Let me make this point, and I'll let you go. Okay. So the bottom line is,
and that's legally that they put
walk. Let me just finish, and I'll let you go. Walk. Let me finish, and I'll let you go, brother. So the people that are building these cases, they get all this information. Now, again, you're getting stuff that's hearsay, stuff that's not necessarily definitive. You know what I'm saying? This is evidence. You know what I'm saying? But this is necessarily proof. So you're getting all type of stuff. You might find some smoking guns, but the bottom line is you're grabbing everything and then you're keeping it to yourself. You're not exposing. You're not trying to bias your case or anything like that. So you have it here. The case doesn't go forward. A lot of that stuff usually dies. They had to go to the Supreme Court or whatever to get this stuff revealed. So a lot of these people, these senators, they didn't know what was in it. Nobody knew what was in it because this stuff was basically locked up. So once they released
who did the redacting?
The people that did redacting was Bondi. Trump's administration is the people that did the redacting after. No, it is. That's what they do. In order to release it out there, they're like, well, look. I mean, what don't you understand about that? They're not going to just release out papers with all type of in law. Literally everything, every single time that you file something with the court, it literally is like, did you not forget to redact any private information? So I'm just telling you, I redact stuff all the time in law. This is what you do. So the point is, once you're saying, okay, we're going to give these documents to other people, now we got to start redacting. That's a natural practice, and they're the ones that do it. That's why they didn't release it fast enough, because it's taking so long to do all the redaction. That's the reality, Walk.
Oh shit! It took 16 years.
They didn't get it 16 years ago. They got it just now.
Let's move on.
I mean, I say about this real quick, guys, and then I'm about the smash out. Is that I brought it up last week, but I'm gonna bring it up again this week. Is President Putin? He says the vampire ball is in, and these Epstein files, and that will give you have more understanding of that as more facts come out and be removed from conspiracy theory, to conspiracy fact, and then you'll see exactly what's popping.
Is that a prediction, Mr. Stu Next?
Oh, absolutely.
Can I make a prediction?
Yes, sir.
We could test our theories. We're going to hear about President Putin sleep, or something's going to happen to him to where maybe he get his slit in the middle of the night or something. But Putin about to be out of there. He about to be assassinated. I think within this year, because it's time for a new regime. That move that Trump made with the oil in Venezuela, that's about to cripple everything he got with this war with the Ukraine. It's about to cripple all that shit, bro.
So let me ask you a question real quick before I leave. Now, is there like a financial value that you attach to that statement? Because you said at the end of the year, what kind of value? Are there odds you want? Let me quantify it for me. I want to see how much you believe in it.
$100 American.
$20 American.
Okay, yeah, you ain't that confident. Okay, $20 American, my brother.
Is that what you said?
I said 100.
He said 100.
Oh, 100. Oh, bro. I mean, yeah, I'll take that bet all day.
All right.
So for the record, this is a word is bond thing, right? What is the bet? We got it on the record here.
Get out of here.
You know what I mean? So my understanding is that by year's end, if January 1st, 2000,
no, February 14th
is still
February 14th. So February 14th. If Putin makes it to February 15th.
Okay.
If Putin makes it to February 15th next year, you owe Student X $100. Is that what the bet is?
Did we go 100?
Yeah, it's 100.
Yeah, I didn't catch the number you had said.
He catch the number, but he agreed to 100.
Nice guy. I think he
I
said
wasn't
20
talking. He said 100. We clarified to him that it's 100. He said, "Oh, 100. I'll take that." He said 20, but then I clarified that it was 100.
I think he said $10.
Honestly, you can say $1 million because I'm saying right now, there's no way in hell that
wait.
Putin is gonna be dead next year this time. You know what I mean? I can tell you that right now.
Wait, what's the bet? $6?
Whatever you like it to be, my brother. Whatever you like it to be. Because I'm taking my position.
$6.
There is no way.
All right, $50. I meet you in the middle. Fuck it, $50.
No problem, brother.
$50 that Putin will either be unalive, killed, or he gonna somehow find his way to a deserted island.
So you're saying that he has to be assassinated or
removed
from
power
out of Russia?
Yeah,
removed from power. You're saying removed from power, either dead or alive.
Yeah.
Dead or alive? Yes, that's
removed from power. But if it's dead, he has to get assassinated.
Yes.
Let's just make it easy. If he just dies, you know what I mean? That period of time, we'll assume it's assassination.
I don't want to. Well, I don't want to say because if he just died, you gonna know that something was shiftless.
Right, straight up. That's what I'm saying. We just say it's disease that if he die, if he's not here physically alive, then you win. You get the $50.
He's unalive. He's gonna be either unalive. Unalive.
Oh man, stand on it, dude. Come on.
No, I'm serious.
Unalive or exiled. Unalive or exiled.
Unalive or exiled. Oh, I like that. Yes. $100 bet right there.
Wait, so is it 100 or what?
100 American dollars, baby.
You accept that to the next?
Yes, sir.